So if you're a safe driver, you should be getting a lot of discounts. At least that's what everybody talks about. Well, there actually are a lot of discounts for safe drivers. Let's dive in and go over what Fool.com says the top 3 companies for car insurance for good drivers specifically. I may at the end give you some tips, advice for those that don't fit these companies because there are a lot of options, but let's start with number 1. It's Nationwide. Nationwide was ranked number 1 because of a couple different things. They have something called the telematics, and what that telematics does is it essentially shows that you're a good driver. You prove to them by downloading an app and having them watch your driving. The reason that it's better is because they give a large discount. I think it's 30 to 40% off just for doing the telematics. But on top of it, they don't raise your rate if you don't do good. So if you join them and you're happy with the standard rate and you want more of a discount, then you know you at least got what you bought, and then you can get more off. I've seen a lot of people do the telematics, and most of the customers I've seen have been extremely happy with the result. The other part is it's not just telematics. They offer a Smart Miles along with what's called a Smart Ride. That's essentially the name of their telematics software. And the Smart Miles allows you to drive lower miles and you don't pay as much. You have to select that ahead of time. So if you know you're a low mileage driver, then you can get a lower cost, a lower base, and then have them watch your driving habits along with your miles, and you don't have to add that cost in. Now, clearly they have the standard discount where if you bundle your home and auto, you're going to get more discounts, but I don't want to go over the stuff that everybody offers because I don't know a company that doesn't. Unless they only offer a home or an auto policy and that's all they offer in your state, then obviously they can't do that. For the companies that are your standard, your State Farm, your Safeco, your Liberty Mutuals, all of these guys, right? They all offer the home and auto discount, and it's kind of the same price. You get 20 to 30% off across the board. Can they do more? Sure, it's very rare, but usually the pricing varies based on that. The second one is State Farm, and they're basing this a lot of the telematics. They also have something called Drive Safe and Save, and I actually don't agree with this one as much because the Drive Safe and Save, they talk about the benefits, and although it's not as good as the Nationwide policy, it'll give you up to 30% off of your policy. The part that I don't like about it is it includes distracted driving, where the Nationwide one does not do distracted driving. And so if you touch your phone or handle your phone, the State Farm app will actually notice that, and it's going to count that against you if you're using it for those purposes. Now, the number one question I get is, what if I play music? What if I do things with my phone? Well, yes, if you hand it to your kids in the back seat, it's not for you. It's not a good fit. You probably should watch my discounts video. I'll link at the end here. That might be a better deal. But for the people that aren't going to touch their phone constantly and want to play music, that's perfectly fine. If you're using Bluetooth or CarPlay, all of that stuff was designed for the telematics, and it's just going to use your navigation to track the mileage and the driving and know that you're not using it for those purposes. If you have a bumpy road, keep that in mind, because that's where that distracted driving might kick in, because it's starting to feel those bumps and it thinks that you're actually touching the phone or it thinks that something's happening. Now, I would imagine they've fixed this since the last time I talked about it, but just to be safe, that is an option. If you are either on a bumpy road or if someone's going to touch your phone, it might give you a worse score. If you are deciding to shop around and you're looking for a company that offers this, Nationwide works with independent brokers, so I'll put a link in the description below where you can check them and multiple companies to see if there is a better company that has a better cost or fit for you. But that leads us into the third one, which for safe drivers is going to be Ford Insure. I had to do some research on this. I didn't know that Ford had started this. I actually, oddly enough, made a couple of videos about this, and they're offering insurance through Ford. So if you have a Ford that's 2020 or newer, you can get their Ford Insure. The cool benefit to this is that they don't require you to download the app. So they have the same telematics. In either scenario, you've got to show that you're a good driver, not just say it, not because you don't have tickets or accidents. They actually want to see the risk. They're determining the mileage, the times you drive at night, how fast you're going in some companies, and in general, just what type of driver you are. Now, I'll actually have a video that I can link here that'll go over the telematics in general, so that you can see the 4 or 5 things that all companies ask, and then a couple of the outliers that some of them will ask. But Ford Insure actually sounded pretty decent. And the more I read about it, the more it started to sound familiar, and then I read the words, offered by Nationwide. So essentially what they've done is Ford has partnered with Nationwide, and I've seen it myself, where you click on a policy and you click on the telematics, and certain companies work with certain vehicle makes. So they'll automatically apply the discount if they know that that vehicle's got the lower mileage or has a safe driving, as long as you authorize it. They're not going to go in and just take your data, but if you give permission, then you can get a discount right away without having to do the programs. Now for the Ford, it's a little bit different because they actually still require you to do the telematics program. It's just it's done for you. It's built into the car to where that tracking, like an OnStar type system, is going to know your driving habits, know the car, know when that's happening. The only question that I have is, how is it going to know that you're driving? So if there's multiple people that drive the car, it may not be able to determine that. Your phone is always in your pocket. So I know with the system like the Nationwide one, or even any of them, you can go on your phone and say, I wasn't the driver in this case, and it usually takes those pieces off. I wonder if that's any different. I'm not surprised. I honestly think in the future, eventually you'll hop in your car and you'll either pay for the day or pay for the usage or just pay for the whole year of your insurance or whatever you want through your car. And then it'll follow you, kind of like you log into things with Google or you log in with Facebook. It'll just know your profile and follow your risk. So what if I'm not the best driver? I'm an okay driver and I do want some more discounts. I just did a video on the top insurance companies in the nation, so you're gonna want to check that one out right there. If you want to learn a little bit more about the telematics system and how that operates, I did a generalized video on the telematics so you can learn all of the little pieces and things that it's thinking of. Hopefully it's helpful. Thumbs up if you liked it. Otherwise, I'm Mark with Think Insurance. I'll see you in the next one.